Season 5 of Stranger Things was easily the worst season of the entire show. From a really rushed final fight, some of the moments in the series not feeling satisfying, character deaths that didn't happen when they should have, and characters that should have appeared but didn't. It honestly felt as though Stranger Things is in a really rushed time in this moment, which doesn't even make sense considering the fact that this is the second longest season in the show, being dwarfed by season 4. Genuinely crazy. No clue what the Duffer Brothers were thinking. Also, giving Will powers, honestly, it kind of makes sense, but also kind of doesn't. And I just never really found myself to be enjoying that. I didn't care that Will was getting power, and I also didn't care the fact that he was gay. What the heck, dude? It almost felt as though Will getting powers was because of the fact that he was gay. So you're telling me if I like dudes then I get power? In general, it just doesn't make sense, and a lot of the time in the series, it just never made sense. Season 5, it doesn't deliver, man. The epilogue is easily the best part. I like seeing what the characters are doing. I like seeing how Mike is coping with Elle's loss. Other than that, though, a lot of the main characters not dying just doesn't feel right, especially considering the fact that this is the final series, and it just lacks stakes. Easily just one of the worst finales in television history. Oh wait, you don't believe me? I just spent my past 50 hours ranking every single Stranger Things season from worst to best, and this is my list. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed. It literally took 5 minutes. Season 2 of Stranger Things is actually not as bad as people give it credit for. As much as people like to say that it's the worst season of Stranger Things by a large margin, I really beg to differ. Season 2 honestly just feels like Season 1, but a little bit worse. Season 1 is very nice, and this season has the vibes that Season 1 had. It feels a little dark, but also really nostalgic, and in general, it pulls off what it's trying to do. Max is a great character, Billy is a great character. I like seeing what their home life is like. I like seeing her being introduced to the group, but this season does have some problems. The main problem being Season 2, Episode 7, the worst episode of Stranger Things, by a significant margin. I didn't like Season 5, Episode 7, but even still, that's the second worst episode, and that's a 6.5 out of 10. This episode, Two Sisters, is a 0.5 out of 10. This episode is entirely dedicated to Elle going on an emo arc, which makes no freaking sense. Why the freak is she doing this? I was so just appalled by what they were doing. It genuinely made no sense. So against this episode that I haven't watched it in a year. Since I first watched Season 2. In general, Season 2 actually is very good. I love the finale episode, even though it's not the best final episode, but it is definitely not the worst. I think Season 5 is the worst. 2 does a decent job at picking up where Season 1 left off. I like seeing what Will's going through. I like seeing how the characters are dealing with Elle's loss in Season 1. So, in general, really solid season. It did have I do have a ton of issues with it, but it's definitely not my least favorite. Season 3 of Stranger Things is actually pretty decently good. Vibes in this season are incredible. Some of the best that Stranger Things has ever had to offer. So I'm sorry about the lighting. I literally just teleported to my shed, so yeah, the lighting's gonna be a little different here. You're gonna be seeing the lighting change a lot in this video. Genuinely, I actually decently enjoyed this season of Stranger Things. One of the funnest seasons by far. Definitely had the best action scenes of any Stranger Things season by a pretty significant margin. If you really look at every single Stranger Things season, you can tell that the Duffer Brothers were cooking with the fights in this season. I thought that everything that was going on, it felt very 80s. I loved them going to the mall, them fighting the Mind Flayer, Hop and Joyce for some reason fighting the dude from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. All of it was it felt really interesting, and I was honestly very happy with how it turned out. Easily probably one of the most rewatchable seasons of Stranger Things, and if you ever say, oh yeah, I want to put on some Stranger Things, Season 3 is probably the way to go. I think Season 3 is probably the most enjoyable season of Stranger Things. And it's just something you can put on when you're at work, when you're doing schoolwork, or pretty much just anything. If you want to put on some Stranger Things, highly recommend Season 3. because I think it takes the least amount of brain power to process. In general, it's a very fun season. I love all the vibes. I think Hopper's sacrifice is still one of the best seasons, or just one of the best moments in Stranger Things, in both this season and just in general and all of Stranger Things. It's genuinely one of my all-time favorite moments in the show, and I just genuinely enjoy this season. It's just a genuinely fire season. It's very well done, and again, I love the vibes in this season. Definitely the second best season in terms of vibes. It's the final season that really felt like Stranger Things. Oh! Now I'm on the back of my dad's truck. So yeah, season 4 of Stranger Things. Easily just one of the most top-notch seasons in terms of quality, budget, and action. If you want story, you got season 4. If you want an excellent tone, you got season 4. If you want lovable new characters, season 4. Like, I just genuinely love Eddie. He's one of my top 5 favorite characters in Stranger Things. Up there with Steve, Dustin, Hopper, you know, the main top 3, and then Eddie's, you know, number 4, because he's just that guy. His Master of Puppets scene is still engraved in my head, and it's genuinely, definitely the moment that got me into Metallica. Easily just one of the most enjoyable seasons of Stranger Things, and although it is very long and can get kind of lengthy at times, it definitely has some of the best episodes in Stranger Things. We got Dear Billy, and the best episode of Stranger Things, The Piggyback. For season 4, episode 9, just by far the best episode of Stranger Things. I don't think it's close. So well done, such a well-planned finale, and the only thing sorry, I'm so exhausted for no reason. Definitely the one thing I will say is that I think Eddie's death felt a little forced, you know. But I think it was really well done, really well executed, and the cliffhanger is probably the second best cliffhangers in cinema. I think the only one that really tops it is the Infinity War cliffhanger. But other than that, though, 10 out of 10. Well done, Stranger Things. Well done, Duffer Brothers. Well done, Netflix. Fantastic season. I know some of y'all probably guessed what the number 1 pick was gonna be. Yeah, it's Stranger Things Season 1. Like, what other season would it have been? Season 4, Season 3, Season 2, all really good seasons. Season 5 was a letdown. But out of anything, the most enjoyable season that has always been Stranger Things Season 1. The tone, the nostalgia, all the 80s references. The plot of Season 1 just feels like just the plot of what Stranger Things was. It was Will going missing, and then these 3 kids uncovering what is going on. And it just honestly felt enjoyable, and when you really rewatch this season, you get to know just how little we truly knew about the world of the Upside Down. Because really, we don't get to explore the Upside Down until Season 4. It's genuinely just mind-blowing to me to know that this was where Stranger Things started. And to my knowledge, I just don't see a better season than Season 1. I love Season 4. It's epic, definitely way bigger of a budget, and definitely way bigger of what the story was. But I just prefer the simplicity, the feel, and pretty much everything about Season 1 to where I just don't think Season 1 really, isn't, I think Season 1's in its own league. Like, comparing that to Season 4, like, I love Season 4, but Season 1 truly pops. Like, round of applause for Season 1, bro. Season 1 came out literally almost 10 years ago, because 2016 was 10 years ago. God damn! I genuinely really do enjoy Stranger Things Season 1 pretty much more than almost any other season combined, really. And that's why Stranger Things Season 1's my number 1 pick. So, if you did enjoy, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you like me popping up in random places, please let me know.